All right, let's watch this thing. What's next for Runeterra? Features and modes
Hi,
coming soon.
I'm Jeff,
I'm Andrew.
and we're here to talk about what's coming up next for Legends of Runeterra in 2020. We're in two different places, but through the magic of video editing,
And friendship.
we've joined together to deliver this update. But before we dive in, we want to share some thoughts on how we decided what to develop next.
We believe that for our card game to stay engaging for years, we need to bring more than new cards to the table. We're always asking ourselves the question, how is the game more fun today than it was yesterday? So although we've only been out of beta for a month, we're already thinking about the next thing, and the two things after that.
Our goal has been to develop an entire ecosystem of modes and features for you to show off your skill. And today,
Andrew got that
we're gonna share
Aeron
some
chair.
details about the ones coming to Legends of Runeterra over the next few months.
Let's get after it!
Gauntlets. Okay.
There's more than one way to challenge your skill in Legends of Runeterra. Sometimes you might live for the climb of ranked, while other times you might prefer to test your drafting ability in expeditions.
And some days, it's all about the fierce competition of the emote meta.
Oh God.
But when it comes to different and exciting ways to use your collection of cards, we've barely scratched the surface.
And that's where Gauntlets come in.
Okay.
Gauntlets are limited time competitive modes with unique rules to play around and exclusive rewards to unlock. Every gauntlet asks a simple question: can you make it to 7 wins? Over time, new gauntlets with different rules will be added, so you'll have to prove your skill in brand new ways. We might also bring back your favorites in the future.
The first gauntlet in June will use standard deck building rules as we test drive the underlying tech. The next gauntlet, however, will challenge you to build a deck using no more than one copy of each card.
We expect it to be very popular with cats in mech suits.
But gauntlets aren't the only game in town. Let's
Labs?
talk about labs.
Labs are experimental game modes based on more extreme changes to the classic Legends of Runeterra formula. You'll never know what you're going to get with a lab, but we guarantee there will be wild gameplay and some mad science.
Labs are intended to be a little more chaotic and casual than gauntlets. And if there's a lab you really love, it can make a return soon.
This is so cool.
First experiment
I think-
begins in July. We won't spoil what Heimerdinger has in store, but it involves unusual champion team-ups, unpredictable strategies, and action that starts right on round 1.
I feel like
The sweet smell of science.
that looked like
Something
concept
else
art back
happening in
there.
July. Legends of Runeterra's
Events?
first event.
From time to time, we'll have special thematic events that bundle together cosmetic items, quests, and potentially a gauntlet or a lab. It's a month-long celebration of cool new stuff to check out.
During an event, every player will have access to a series of limited time rewards that can be unlocked just by playing. There will also be an event
Okay.
pass in the store that adds even more rewards for you to unlock along the way.
Event.
We still plan to add more ways to personalize your game with each set of cards, but we also wanted to include opportunities to unlock sweet cosmetic content at other moments throughout the year.
We want events to be a great way to get even more rewarded for the hours you spend playing Legends of Runeterra. If you're the kind of player who likes collecting the latest and greatest boards, guardians, emotes, and more, events are your time to shine.
Finally, we can't leave out all the new cards coming in 2020.
Oh boy.
We said before that each expansion will add a new region and
Every
card to the
2
list.
months? That's a lot.
We've also been looking for ways to make content even more impactful and keep the meta evolving as new cards enter the mix.
Our goal is to release more cards more frequently, creating back-to-back waves of new mechanics and champions. So in August, the next region of Runeterra will debut, with new champions and a bunch of supporting cards. Then every 2 months, we'll bring a new drop of cards, including more champions. And every 6 months, the next region of Runeterra will join the roster.
No spoilers on what happens after that.
So far, we've been talking about the next few months, but there will be new things coming to the game throughout the whole year.
In 2020, we're planning to tackle a bunch of key features and improvements you've requested, like an update to Master Rank LP, improvements to the deck builder,
Okay.
in-game
Yes.
leaderboards, and yes, spectator support.
Uh-huh.
Some of these will be quality of life improvements, while others are critical to supporting the future of Runeterra. especially its competitive scene.
Yup.
We're also currently in development on other modes, like tournaments and single-player experiences. We don't have a lot to say beyond the fact that they're in development. but when we're
Tournament
ready with
mode!
more
Let's
details,
go!
We'll be sure to share an update.
I long for a worthy opponent.
In-game
Important to us
client
that you have a good idea where
tournament
the game is headed.
mode.
We're super excited for the rest of 2020, and we hope you're starting to get excited too.
With new Gauntlet competitions, lab experiments, special events, and even more frequent card releases, Legends of
This
Runeterra
is-
will have more ways than ever before to
All right,
test
this
the
is cool.
skills of
I have a
player,
lot to say
deck builder,
about
and
this. I have a lot to say
no
about
matter
this.
what kind of challenge gets your gears turning, we're aiming to create something you'll love this year.
As always, we will be paying close attention to your feedback and what you choose to play. We are constantly evaluating the game based on your experiences and not just what seems like a good idea on paper.
We expect everything mentioned in this video to grow and evolve over time, so we'll need your help to improve each feature and build Legends of Runeterra into the best game it can be.
Thanks for bearing with us as we struggle
Feedback.
through our
Send feedback.
video set.
Send feedback.
Andrew, your camera's
Send feedback.
messed up or something.
What is it?
Your hair looks shorter.
Really? Weird. We'll be back soon to share more details on the upcoming event. In the meantime, we hope you're having a blast with Bilgewater, and we'll see you on the Slaughtergrounds.
Stay safe, and thanks for watching.
Poking fun at the whole COVID thing. How is your hair shorter? They might not have been doing that. Okay, so I have quite a bit to say on this. Okay, so what was the first thing that got mentioned? Gauntlets. So this is cool. I can't remember what card game actually has gauntlets. I believe Magic Arena has a similar, or maybe even the exact same mode, where you just take a deck and you try and get to 7 wins with it. This doesn't remind me of anything in Hearthstone, but in Eternal we had these things called events, actually, where you would try to get to 7 wins playing a deck that you built, but there were special rules for that event. Usually, not every single time, but more often than not, there was some type of special rule. But there was a limitation on the type of deck you could build, and you got prizes based off of how well you did. And there were also leaderboards too for most of them. So that's cool. I'm glad this is coming to the game. So the first one's gonna be, it'll just be regular decks. Like, you just play a regular deck and try and get to 7 wins. And then the next one's gonna be a special deck building rule with singleton copies. So singleton copies is that's Highlander for you Hearthstone and Magic folks too. That's where it originally came from, the Highlander format. You run 1 copy of every card. I guess it'll be Commander now, if we're talking about Magic. So what else is there? Next was labs. So labs are weird. I love that they showed, this looks like this, everything they showed here when they were talking about the labs feels like concept art. And these are supposed to be more casual, but I like that they showed this stuff off. This is really cool. So I guess labs are kind of like gauntlets, but there might not be like a 7-win thing. Yeah, there might not be leaderboards. There's probably not gonna be any type of leaderboard thing with labs. It might not be with gauntlets either, but I don't know. I can't imagine them doing gauntlets and then not having some type of leaderboard attached to gauntlets. It feels like, you know, that should be a thing for most gauntlets. Maybe not all of them. I don't see labs being part of having any type of leaderboard system. But yeah, I guess labs are like gauntlets, but they're more casual, and it's probably not like there's no 7-win thing. You just play. So this probably feels more like Tavern Brawl from Hearthstone, potentially. I'm not saying Riot's copying or blah 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 blah. That's not what I'm saying. It's just multiple card games have these modes. Like, it's just the nature of the industry. Like, your card game should have multiple different modes at this point. All right, so events. So they talked about events where you get these are just additional rewards just by playing the game. So there's probably going to be card backs involved. There might be some game boards involved. This is cool. It's an addition to the daily rewards that you already get for playing the game, like the daily quests. So that's nice. It's nice that people will be able to get different. They'll at least be able to get different card backs and probably different emotes and maybe even a game board once in a while. Game boards are pretty expensive though. They're kind of the premium content, the premium cosmetic content for this game. But I could see them once in a while offering a free game board to people. And all you need to do is play in whatever event they have going on. Events kind of remind me of this is not a card game, but it actually reminds me of Overwatch. Overwatch has events every once in a while. They're not always. Sometimes they're tied into their like special events. They're like holiday things. That they're more than just holidays, but they have X amount of events throughout the year where you can get extra skins and things like that. And then they have these other like little mini side events. That's what the events here remind me of. The little mini events where if you get X amount of wins, then you earn like a skin, like a character skin from Overwatch or one of the heroes. Or you'll win like a spray or something like that. Like stuff like that for getting X amount of wins within like a certain time frame. However long the event is for. Or sometimes events will be, I think for the more major ones, they'll add those like extra, like get sprays just by playing or get skins just by playing. They'll be tied into larger events and it'll be throughout. The larger events are like a month long. So sometimes they'll tie in like several mini events into the larger event that they have. Like if they have a Halloween event, they might say, okay, week 1, if you play X amount of games, you win this. Week 2, you play X amount of games and win, you win this. That type of thing. That's what events kind of remind me of. It's cool though. I like that they're doing this in addition to, the normal daily quests. It's just to keep things, all this is to keep things fresh. Like, you have to keep things fresh. You got to keep people coming back in, logging in and playing. There has to just constantly be stuff going on. Me coming from Eternal, that Direwolf did that. It got to the point where just, I think every card game has that now. Most card games do anyway. Like, you just have to have stuff going on all the time. You have to give people a reason to always come back in and log back in and play. So they talked about sets next, right? That was the last thing. So we had Gauntlets, we had the lab, we had events, and new sets. This is the most exciting thing. Let's look at this roadmap here. So every 2 months we're gonna get cards, which is insane. When I first heard it, I was like, hello? That's too fast. I'm thinking we were gonna get full sets every 2 months, but no, it doesn't seem like that's the case. So August will every 6 months we'll get a new region with cards, and then after that we'll have 2 sets. That's a lot. So I don't think these are gonna be full expansions. Like, I think the new region will be unveiled. Maybe. I don't know. We might not be getting like full expansions. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how big these expansions are going to be. It seems like the new region will be the larger full expansion, and then like we'll get new cards in the 2 months preceding after that. So August, May, we get the new region and a bunch of new cards for that region. Maybe they do a few cards for existing regions, but maybe not. And then 2 months after that in October, it's just like a smaller expansion. I know in Hearthstone they used to have adventures or campaigns, some people called them. Eternal's still doing this too. But they used to have like really small expansions where it was like 20 something cards. And The only problem with that was like you only got one major new expansion like every 8 months, I want to say it was, at least in early Hearthstone, like 2015, 2014, 2015, and 2016. They don't do that anymore. They just do full expansions now. I think every 4 months. But this is good though. I like this. I'm just interested in seeing how this is gonna roll out. Like what the size of these expansions are gonna be. Like, is this gonna be like the big one and then the next two are gonna be smaller ones? That's what I'm getting from this whole thing. Like we get a major expansion and 2 mini expansions, or it could just be like the major expansion is just the new region with only cards from the new region, and then 2 months after that it's a smaller expansion with a few cards for all the regions. That might be what they're actually doing, judging from this graph. It seems like that's what they're doing. That's very good, and they have plans for tournament support that they stated. Like they didn't have anything to show for tournament support, but they mentioned it. This is the additional stuff coming this year. Update to Master Rank LP. Improvements to the deck builder. This is the #1 thing I actually want. I know Master Rank players do want improvements to this, and it should come, because oh god, Master Rank is weird. Like the way the LP system works. You get super punished. You probably get super punished for not playing too. Like you have to play, otherwise you probably decay really hard. I mean, it's like that in every other card game. I don't see how it's not like that in this card game. I wouldn't know because I haven't hit Masters yet. I'm close, but I haven't hit it yet. But I've been Master or Legend in other card games. And that's how it was in those games. So like you hit top 100 and then if you stop playing, you just decay more and more the longer and longer you don't play. You like lose a ton of ranks and then you have to play to get it back. Because it's based on like it's based on your win rate, basically, in other games. It's based on how many games played, but it's even more based on your win rate out of all those games. So but yeah, in-game leaderboard, spectator support. This is kind of big. A lot of people want this. Spectator support ties into tournament support. That's what it ties into. This is gonna help the community run tournaments better. Though I don't know. It depends on how many people are on the tournament staff for the community run tournaments. Because like you're probably not gonna have somebody watching your game all the time. Because the community run tournaments, they only have but so many people that are running the tournament. Like, you know, judges watching your game and make sure nothing crazy happens. Like players they usually have to police themselves when it comes to community tournaments for the most part. Not all the time, but it's good either way. Like just in general, we need spectator support. And you can watch your friends play. So even if you're not into tournaments, you can watch your friends play. You know, it's in every other card game I've played anyway. So why wouldn't it be in this game? That's pretty much all I have to say on everything. I'm very excited for these changes. I was hoping they would have more details on... I was honestly hoping there would be some big announcement for organized play. That's what I was looking for. But this is good. This whole video was good. It still got me hyped. Especially since it showed the roadmap for future sets. That was the most exciting thing probably. For me personally. But the different modes will keep people coming back into play. Like the different events and things like that. That's very important. Even if like you don't care about it as a player, maybe you're a more competitive player, you're just gonna play ranked all day. But it is very important to have these other modes to keep players coming back. you know, in between new sets. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say. I'll probably put this up on YouTube. Maybe I do that this time around. Usually, like, I put the video together, and I usually don't do like a live reaction thing for stuff like this. Usually I just kind of just splice a video up together, do a bunch of editing and put it up that way. But I think I just want to do, yeah, I think this will go up on YouTube instead. Like just me talking about it live from the Twitch stream. But yeah. So, if you like what you heard, follow no, don't follow. Yes, follow, but not you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss future videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon so you don't miss future videos from me, because otherwise you have to rely on your recommended videos, and that means you won't always see my videos. If you're relying on front page recommendations. That's why you subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you know when the next video comes up from me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch. Follow the Twitch stream. I stream the game live. In fact, we are I won't say that yet. I'll announce that. I'll have an announcement actually on Twitch tomorrow regarding my stream schedule. I'll say that. I won't give any details, but today's Friday, right? Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna have an announcement on the stream schedule for next month. So that'll be exciting. And we're gonna have subscriber Saturdays where all the Twitch subscribers get to submit decks for me to play. And that's gonna happen for now every Saturday. That might change, but for now it's gonna be every Saturday. Okay. Bye YouTube folks. I will see you later.